If you fail at something, it doesn't mean you're a failure. The moment you stop trying is when you become a failure. And yet, how often do we forget that? You scroll through social media. We see people younger than us living our dream life. And instantly, that thought creeps in. I'm behind and I wasted time. Maybe I'll never get there. But here's the truth. Failure isn't the end of your story. Most of the time, it's the beginning. And today, I want to show you how to reframe it. So you stop seeing yourself as a failure and start seeing yourself as someone in progress. Here's the thing to understand. Failure isn't proof that you're not good enough. Failure is feedback. But most of us were never taught that in school. In school, we were rewarded for being right, for getting A's, for performing without mistakes. So when we struggle or fall behind, our brain says, see, you're not smart enough. You're not talented enough. You'll never get there. Psychologist Carol Dweck, author of the wonderful book Mindset, calls this the fixed mindset. The belief that your abilities are carved in stone. You either have it or you don't. And if you don't, then you must be a failure. But there's another way to see it. It's the growth mindset. It's the belief that skills, intelligence, and even confidence are things you can develop with time and effort. In a growth mindset, failure isn't the end of the story. It's part of the process that shapes you into who you're becoming. I remember a time when I thought I was wasting my life. I was putting effort into my goals, showing up, but it felt like nothing was moving forward. Meanwhile, I'd see other people, sometimes much younger, taking off, hitting milestones I could only dream of. And I thought, maybe I just don't have what it takes. Maybe I'm not cut out for this. That was a fixed mindset talking. I was treating struggle as proof that I wasn't enough, instead of proof that I was in the middle of growth, in the messy middle. Looking back now, I realize those failure moments weren't wasted time, of course. They were the training ground, the gym where my persistence and creativity and resilience were built. And that's the shift I want you to make. Let's talk about how to reframe failure using growth mindset. Here are 3 powerful shifts that change how you see yourself. 1, failure doesn't define you. It refines you. In a fixed mindset, we believe failure is identity. I failed, therefore I am a failure. But in a growth mindset, failure is information. I failed, therefore I learned something. Thomas Edison famously said, I haven't failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work. That's a growth mindset he had. When you feel like you're behind, remind yourself every setback is refining me. It makes me stronger. Number 2, effort is not evidence of weakness. It's the path to mastery. People with a fixed mindset often believe, if I were really talented, this would be easy. But that's a myth. Think about it. Athletes, musicians, entrepreneurs, all the people we admire most, none of them got there without effort, without thousands of hours of repetition, with tons of mistakes, and with coaches. Carol Dweck's research shows that the people who achieve most in life are not the ones who avoid effort, but the ones who embrace it. Because effort is not a proof of weakness. Remember, it's like the engine of growth. So this is science speaking. We need to listen to that and stop listening to our brain offering us random thoughts, negative ones especially. That's not failure. That's exactly what growth looks like. It's supposed to look like this. Number 3, stop comparing your chapter 1 to someone else's chapter 20. So when you see something on social media or anything that looks like an overnight success, remind yourself of that, so that you release the pressure you're putting on yourself. That's totally unfair. And here's where the comparison trap really hurts. In a fixed mindset, someone else's success feels like proof of your inadequacy. But in a growth mindset, someone else's success is simply data. It shows what's possible. It's an inspiration. Instead of thinking they're ahead, so I must be behind, right? Reframe it to they are ahead, which means the path exists. If they can do it, I can learn too. I know it's not easy and always intuitive to do these thought shifts, but you can do it. You master your thoughts. I know it doesn't feel like that, but we have total control on the thoughts. Once we are aware of them, we can change them. In this book, a student in one of Dr. Dweck's studies was given a hard math problem. The kids with a fixed mindset, they said, I guess I'm not just good at math. How often do we hear that in life? Like, oh, I'm not good at math. We often say that ourselves, right? Or I'm not good with numbers. And the kids with a growth mindset, they said, this is great. I love a challenge. Look at this. It was the same math problem, but it's a different mindset. So it means they will have a different future and self-confidence. But this is not only in the classrooms. I once read a comment on social media, somebody sharing about a relative. The man had almost 80 years old. He started over many times in life. He said, life is long and you can start over many times. Many doors close, but each stage that you complete opens new doors. We are often scared of doing anything during our best years, which is quite sad. Think about that perspective. At nearly 80 years old, this man, he didn't see failure as an ending. He saw it as doors closing and doors opening. That's a growth mindset lived out across a lifetime. So how do you actually build this mindset? Here are 3 simple practices you can start using today. Add yet. Instead of saying, I can't do this, say, I can't do this yet. That one word signals to your brain this is a skill in progress, not a permanent identity. Celebrate effort, not just results. Keep a win log where you track every time you showed up, even if the outcome wasn't what you expected. I'll give you an example. One of my clients is working to make progress towards her dream to have a side hustle, a real estate property investment. So she showed up for herself. She woke up early on the weekend and did what I call focus time. So she was able to focus on her computer for 2 hours to make some researches on the market. So that's one win log. It's a win where I'm not looking at the result of did she find a property to buy. We are looking at the effort that she sat down at her computer with full focus and she made progress on her dream. So that's a win in her win log. Your brain needs to see that progress is happening in the process, not at the finish line only. That's what keeps us going, that fuels the emotions that will help us stay motivated. Reframe failure into data. After something goes wrong, ask yourself, what did this teach me? What will I try differently next time? Failures become stepping stones instead of roadblocks. So if you feel like a failure now, I want you to remember this. You are not behind. You are in training. Struggle is not proof that you're weak. It's proof that you're growing and you're becoming an even better and stronger person. And failure doesn't define you. It refines you. The growth mindset isn't just theory. It's a choice you get to make every single day. When you shift from, I failed, to I'm learning and I decide to believe that. That's the thought I'm choosing on purpose. I have control over my mind. Your entire future changes. Because the only true failure is quitting. We know that, right? Everything else, that's just part of becoming the person you are meant to be. So don't stop. Keep showing up. Your future self will look back and say, that season I thought I was failing, that was the season I was actually becoming the person I am today. So if this spoke to you, drop a comment and share what's one thing you're learning right now that feels really hard. Because chances are it's not a failure, it's growth in disguise. So please be encouraged.